Okay. Um, Everybody's always asking me how I make up this dressing, and since it's Thanksgiving, I made up some. And I'm just going to tell you on the video because I had to go ahead and get it made up. And I used a whole loaf of white bread, cheapest bread you can buy. Take it out of the wrapper the night before you're going to make it and put it out in a pan to dry out. And then the next morning, just set the whole mess in the oven and just let it kind of make into very light toasted bread. So you can crumble it up when it gets cold. Crumble it all to pieces, not leaving a great big chunks of bread. And you can have your cornbread made the night before. You can make it on that package of the yellow cornmeal if you put a little more baking powder in it. And be sure you put half flour, gold medal flour, and half yellow cornmeal. And I think it calls for sugar, and you don't have to put that sugar in it either. And a little bit more oil than that calls for. So make up the cornbread the night before. It has to be soft cornbread. Don't let it get all brown around the edges and stuff, but get it done. And then crumble it all up into crumbs. Put it in a deep container and have several cups of chicken broth. And be sure not put any salt in it because the bread is already salted and the chicken broth is already salted, and I don't like the canned kind, so I make up my own. I just boil up some parts of chicken, let it get cold, skim the fat off of it, and it takes several cups of that. And it takes about 4 or 5 eggs to that much cornbread and loaf bread. So I know nobody else that don't make this kind of dressing don't think that's too much, but you mix it up just like a heavy batter in a big pan, and you have a huge onion all chopped up and about a half of a stalk of celery chopped up real fine, and have it sauteed in margarine till it gets completely done. And so almost everything that goes in this is going to be done. And then you put whatever amount of sage you want in it, and I would say about a tablespoon to that much bread, level tablespoon, maybe not quite that much, and whatever amount of pepper you want in it. So I don't like garlic and all that kind of stuff, poultry seasoning. I don't use any of that. I only use sage and black pepper and eggs and celery and onions and broth and bread. So here goes the method. You get it all mixed up like a batter. Don't leave any chunks of bread in it. And you pour it in a big pan. And you have your oven on to about 350. It's just like a heavy batter. But it doesn't take too long to cook it because everything in it is cooked. You can make the cornbread and put it in there right out of the oven if you want to. You don't have to let it get cold. So you get it all in any amount you want to make up. I guess you could make up half that much if you had a small family, but you can freeze this stuff. And it keeps about a week in the refrigerator, so if you've got a family that likes dressing. And then you can use some of the broth that you boil up the chicken parts and skim it off. You can use that for the gravy too. And after this goes in the oven, and I would say you leave it in there for about 25 minutes, maybe 30 on 350, just to heat it through real. You can put it on 350 or 400, and just so you get it real heated through, and the eggs, the raw eggs you put in it will hold it together and set it up. So then you take it out and eat it. Put some gravy on it.